Hey guys, Fleming Chicken today, and today I want to talk about, kind of where the channel's been going or what it's been about. And it's been about basically the economics of Pokemon cards, and if you're going to buy and sell them. Right now, I'm just waiting for my eBay listings to reopen up because I'm limited to 50 listings a month before I have to pay, and I can wait. I'm in a waiting game. So that's kind of what this collectible game is. If you're buying and selling, it's a waiting game. The idea, if you're a buyer and seller, is you're buying cards for less than what you're going to sell them for, and you're hunting down deals. You're looking for people who don't want their cards anymore, just want to get rid of them. They're just taking up space. They don't know how to use eBay. They're limited to what they can. Facebook Marketplace has kind of made it more balanced for them, but still they're limited to how they can list things and how they can sell them. They're limited to their selling options. So for example, when you find people usually on Facebook Marketplace who don't accept any other form of payment besides cash, it's because they haven't introduced themselves into the electronic payment game. They don't know how to use eBay. They're just trying to get rid of their cards. It allows you to have a little bit more negotiating power. It may make you nervous. It made me nervous buying this card. I just picked this card up today. What made me nervous about it is I'm new to the newer cards. So it's hard for me to tell what is and isn't fake, but I took time and verified it and verified this card isn't fake. Asked questions from the seller. So yeah, what we're going to talk about is the waiting game of collectibles via Pokemon, and I have something else here that's really completely in a sense of the opposite, at least to just straight collectors on Pokemon, but to economics, I'm going to make sense of this. Silver. Now, granted, this is a mint coin. It's a proof, so it's a little bit higher up. Let me pull it out. This is a collectible coin, but what we're going to get at, let me make that pop up a little bit. Hold on. It has its own display. And yeah, you can see the lighting is hitting that. Well, actually, that's exactly how it looks. That's like, yeah, no, it really is that shiny. So, the hollow foil of money world, besides gold, and maybe some other metals. So what I'm going to talk about is selling and buying other forms of assets versus Pokemon cards. And what we're getting at is, economically, is it better to buy Pokemon cards than buying something that's a quick sell, like money in silver and gold and other metals? It's really, really hard. In my opinion right now, at least buying the Pokemon cards has been easier than buying silver. Yes, it's easy to just go and buy silver straight off the internet, or maybe from a pawn shop or from other people off Facebook Marketplace. The issue you run into with buying metals that I've run into is, let's say, I think silver right now is somewhere around $15 an ounce, right? And you're just trying to buy it for the silver. You're not trying to buy it for the collectible piece. Well, you'll have people, even if it's a straight Boyon, like bar, to where it's not really necessarily collectible, but technically it can be, because it has its own circulation. It usually has a date the bar was made and stuff like that, unless you can just buy straight flat bars, which I don't suggest unless you have the chemistry kit to verify actual silver. It's kind of common for people to take a lead bar and wrap silver around it, melt silver around it, and make it weigh more and say, oh, this is a 400-ounce silver bar when it's only got 100 ounces of silver on it. Whole nother subject. We're just talking about the economics of collectibles of Pokemon versus buying and trading other assets such as metals. Now, for example, let's say at the time you bought the silver is $15 an ounce, and you bought 100 of it. So you had to spend $1,500 to buy those 100 ounces. Now, here's the thing. When you sell it, depending on who you sell it to, unless you can find a private buyer, they're going to charge you a little bit of like premium purchase rate, like against you. Almost like a self-inflicted tax against you. So let's say silver goes up to $17 an ounce. Well, you bought it for $1,500, and you're going to sell it for $1,700. Granted, those $2 extra per ounce sometimes can happen in a day, and sometimes takes a whole year for that extra $2 an ounce to flip around. And you only had enough money to spare to buy that $1,500 worth of silver. But now that's at $17 an ounce, pawn shops and other bulk buyers are only going to give you $15.50 to $16 an ounce. So you've made $100 off your $1,500 wrist. Somewhere between 6 months and a year, you've made $100, and you've had to haul it around. You know, silver. This coin weighs like probably like 100 Pokemon cards, probably more. I mean, it's a pretty hefty coin. Granted, I think it only is a 1 ounce coin, but my point is, it's going to cost you. It's going to be a little bit more weight and stuff, and take up more room than the Pokemon coins, in a sense. But yes, you can have a quicker turnaround. You can buy and sell silver like that if you find the right person to sell to you, to which you can sell to someone else for like an extra $1 an ounce, 50 cents an ounce, depending on how many ounces you're moving. And of course, if you have a lot of liquid assets, you can do this, and you can be selling, you know, tens of thousands of ounces of silver, or 1,000 ounces of silver, each week, and maybe you're making an extra $1 per ounce, but you're making an extra $1,000 per week. Yeah, that's feasible, but you're using a risk of, you know, if it's $15 an ounce on 1,000 ounces, you're risking $15,000. I mean, it's sort of a risk. It's a risk if you can't sell it at all. Then you're kind of fucked because, then then you can't really, you know, if you're going to spend it, you got to spend it on what its denomination is. If it's, you know, just the coins themselves, or if it's the bars, you really can't spend them. You have to sell them. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to have any liquid asset money. So it's really, that's more of an absolute rich person's game. And somewhat not so much a waiting game as much. Pokemon. Now what you have here is you have this card, and it is in near mint to mint condition. I'm considering having it PSA rated, depending if it sells as it is or not. So, what I'm running into, and sorry, the back is covered with the sleeve, but the back is just as clean as the front. I checked. What you have here is, I'm going to try and sell this now for basically the quick buck. I could PSA rate it. Well, actually, I can't. You can't even PSA rate things right now because PSA is closed because of COVID-19. But I'm going to try and sell it for the quick buck anyways. In its current state, it should still go for around $200 if I want it sold quickly, even a little bit more, without it being PSA rated because of the condition it's in. It's in a clearly near mint to mint condition. I mean, honestly, I do think this card could probably pull. It really probably could pull PSA 10, and I have PSA 10s to, you know, go against that to see and look and say, yeah, no, this will definitely get PSA 10. And I've been watching on eBay, and PSA 8s are going for $230 right now. That's actual going, like the bids are going for $230 and not even closed yet, and they're up at $230. There's 9s and 10s that are at $250, and I think there's even like a 7 that was at like $190 or something. And this is definitely an 8 or higher. So I'm not gonna say how much I paid for it, but I got it for less than $200. I'm gonna try and sell it for $200. So I'm gonna make the quick buck. Now let's say I make at least $80 to $100 off that card, depending on how much I sell it for. Well, if I only had $100 risk in this card, and I sold it like that and made $100 within the week, well, that's better than having a $1,500 risk to make $100. And that's why I am buying and selling Pokemon cards. Granted, Pokemon cards are only kind of, I think the word is intrinsically valued. They don't have any actual value. This is a currency. And, I mean, yeah, the metal, I mean, silver does have a very good use. It's used as a conductor. It's a really good conductor. So silver's used and, you know, various forms of wiring. So silver is always being melted down and being sold. So I'm really not worried about losing out on silver in a sense. That is another thing I do, is I buy and sell silver and gold. But my new main avenue right now, my main side hustle, is buying and selling Pokemon cards. And that's the reason why, essentially. I was okay with buying giant lots of nothing. I'm still going to do some openings and unboxings of giant boxes of nothing. But my current hustle, and it's what I suggest, and I'm kind of hurting myself by suggesting this to other people, is buying high-end ticket cards and being willing to wait and sell them. Don't go above what you can and can't afford. You know, if you only have $2,000 in your bank account, don't blow $1,000 on Pokemon cards, because it can take a long time to sell high-end, high-item Pokemon cards. High-item Pokemon cards, it doesn't sound like a lot of money to some people, but if your card is being listed for $50 or more, expect to sit on it. Unless the card's worth $200 or something, people will buy it quickly. But if your card is worth about 60 and you're selling it for 50, expect to sit on it. Sure, that's a great deal. It's $10 off. Someone else can buy it and sell it for 60, or they can go ahead and wait an extra year. I mean, the good news about Pokemon cards is they don't take up a lot of space. Or maybe what could make it go up even higher is they could spend the money to PSA rate it, and it might be a 10, which will make it skyrocket. I've been over this before in my other video. The issue with PSA rating cards, which I like PSA rated cards, they're really cool to me. People can't play with them unless their entire deck is made of them. And even then, I don't know if that's allowed in tournaments. And people, buy Pokemon cards to play with. I mean, there's the collectors and the people who buy to play with the game, play the game. So there's people who aren't going to want it if it's PSA rated. And then because you've increased the price so much, you're once again limiting your amount of people who are going to buy it to, a very slim amount of people who don't want to spend $300, $400 on a card. I know this one doesn't get that high. I mean, it may. The thing with new cards is you have to catch the hype and sell it before the hype fades. Otherwise, you're going to have a falling yield curve that should eventually go back up because the cards are limited run production, and there's less and less of them if they aren't all saved. So yeah, that's my little spiel on buying and selling Pokemon cards. I know some people like to just collect cards. I do like them. I do like the cards. I think, even though I'm not really a huge fan of newer cards, because they get a little bit too out of control, I also do like the inner child in me really likes this artwork. I mean, this is really cool, the idea of a tag team card, and there's a disadvantage, if it dies, or if you, whatever you want to call it, loses the fight or whatever, it takes extra points, gives you the other person extra prize cards. When your tag team is knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prize cards. So, 3 prize cards. My bad. 3 prize cards. Is that going to show? Right there. 3 prize cards. So, there's a disadvantage to these super overpowered, high-powered cards. I've been over this before. Let me see if I can pull it real quick. The card that will pretty much instantly defeat this extremely high-powered card, as long as you can, negotiate your turn with it. Okay, you'll just have to look it up later because I don't want to keep spending time shuffling through for this video. But look up Sabrina's Kadabra. You'll know when you have the right one because its attack is life drain. It's 1 energy cost, and it automatically brings, well, not automatically, you have to land a heads, but that's not hard in my opinion. You can teach yourself how to flip a coin to always land what you want it to. That's a thing, look it up. But if it lands heads and it's only 1 energy cost, the opposing Pokemon's health automatically becomes 10. So even though this guy has 270 HP, it becomes 10 like that. Without applying weaknesses or resistances, it becomes 10. Well, you might be like, well, hey, Mr. Chicken, that doesn't finish him off. He has plenty of attacks that can easily wipe out that Sabrina's Kadabra. Use the Trainer Power Plus with that Sabrina's Kadabra. There's your extra 10 HP after your attack. This guy's automatically destroyed. So there's disadvantages to these high-powered cards. Granted, they're really cool. There's no evolution required. I don't think there's any other rules besides you can only use some of their special certain abilities once, and you have the drawback of if it's defeated, like, Sabrina's Kadabra that didn't automatically kill this thing, it loses 3 prize cards. You lose 3. The opponent gets to gain 3 prize cards. So, but yeah, in the collector standpoint, it's a really cool card, in my opinion. And I can see why it's selling so hot on eBay. I mean, that thing's selling hot. Yeah, sure, there's the original Charizards that are still sought out after, but people are asking a premium for them. And it's understood why, and there is still the hype, and the hype follows Charizard, but I can see watching the sales and buying of the original Charizards, it's kind of risky to buy that card right now because the hype on the original Charizard train is dying. It's kind of just kept alive by the YouTubers who do these Pokemon collections, which if you haven't seen, I do have quite the collection that I'm trying to sell. Not all of it's Pokemon, that's baseball. But I do have quite the collection, some binders and some other stuff that wasn't in this video. If you're new to the channel, we are giving away to 1 lucky subscriber by Wednesday, which I think is like... Don't quote me on this. I think it's like April 29th, whenever Wednesday lands on next week. We're giving these 2 coins away. They're from 1999. I believe they're from the original basic theme deck, or whatever you want to call it, the basic starter deck from when it came out. So these are base set coins, and they are a little scratched up. They were played with. They are mine, but that's why we're giving 2 to 1 person. And even in this condition, they do go for about $5 to $10 each, so it's about a $10 to $20 giveaway. But I mean, I really hope that one day, if they haven't already, do that hollow foil on one of the Pokemon cards. I mean, that is an awesome effect. I mean, each one even has its own unique shape. It's not just like some dots. It really has its own unique shape. You can really see that one glimmer up top. Giving these away to one lucky subscriber. So like and subscribe to these videos if you want a chance to win both of these. I've had some issues in the past with some of my subscribers. You can't win if you aren't subscribed publicly, because I can't see who you are. Now, granted, also you're catching this channel and the infamousy in the baby version of it, the infancy. So what I'm trying to help out, and granted, this isn't a near mint card. This isn't a mint card. You really can't necessarily see it. Well, you can see the neck down there. It's got silver lining all around it. It's got some whiting on the back. I know, not the greatest giveaway, but help me reach 200 subscribers, and this will definitely be one of the next giveaways. Hopefully right at 200 subscribers, we'll do this as a giveaway to one lucky winner, and as we grow, I can do larger giveaways. I can't really afford to give away all of my cards without building up some subscribers to this channel. So please, yeah, if the more people you like and share this channel with, the less chance you have to win these things. But the bigger this channel gets, the bigger the prizes get. We'll do more prizes for each video. So we'll start to spread things out. That should help increase your chances of winning things. So please share, like, and subscribe this video so we can afford to increase our prizes to our lucky viewers. So I really hope this video is helpful in an economic sense of if you're looking into buying and selling Pokemon cards. And there's more than one platform. I right now just kind of use eBay. And it's all about the hunt and what you can hunt down. I really strongly suggest that you just you watch these videos for educational purposes. So far, I've gone over what I suggest buying. With the trust game for eBay. So far, I've had good luck with near mint buys. This is an example. And it's all about negotiating to get that right price. So I really hope you like this video. So just tune in next time for our next episode.